What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, it is officially 6/17 on August 13th, which means it is race day. Today is finally the day that I will compete in my first DEKA Strong. Now the goal for this video is obviously to take you through the actual entire day, but also to do a recap of each individual station, because this is the first time that I've done them. So I'm gonna basically give you guys any tips, tricks that I learned by completing my DEKA Strong. Now the reason why it is 6:17 and I am already awake is because my goal was to get up, run 6 miles, and then get my steps in, my daily devotional, my morning routine, all that stuff done, even though it is race day. So my current steps right now is 13,615. I ran zone 2 training for about an hour, which equated to distance 5.73 miles, and then I burnt 743 calories. Now I've not had a cheat day in over, I think, 12 days, so today will also be a cheat day. So far, the only thing I've eaten is a bagel, a little bit of peanut butter, a little bit of honey, and then my carb powder to fuel me for my run. The actual event is not until 9:30, so the goal is to leave by 7:30, get there about 8:30. That way, when I get there, I could kind of walk around, possibly do some of the stations that I've never done before, like the ski erg, the air bike, and a couple of the other ones, and then also watch the pros do it so that I could kind of get some tips and tricks, hopefully by just watching them. And then obviously warm up and all that stuff. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy this video of my first ever DEKA Strong. All right, so we are officially down here, and this is a really cool vibe. I'm liking it already. It's gonna be cool because my parents and obviously Cassie and Adeline will be able to watch me very close, because I'll show you guys what it looks like. But I'm gonna make my pre-workout concoction. I'm about 45 minutes out. In about 15 minutes, I'll stretch, and then I will take my pre-workout, and I'll be good to go. We kind of had an interesting morning though. Now you can see me, couldn't even see me. We had an interesting morning though, because there was no internet and no cell service up where I live, and I had the directions on my phone. Luckily my dad's navigator, Papa John, came through again, and as soon as I told him the address, he's like, oh, I know where that is. We started heading down towards the location, and then the GPS kicked in, so it worked. So I'm gonna eat get some carbs in me, because I forgot my carb powder. Epic fail. A little protein, and then we'll be good to go. I'm excited. Got nervous though. I gotta pee. Got that nervous pee. But stay tuned. All right, so we are back, and first off, I need to apologize to you guys because I realized something today, and I realized that every time I have some type of event or race, I realize that I suck at vlogging, because when it comes to the actual event, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the last thing I'm thinking about doing is actually videotaping. So I need to probably get someone that's their job, because the only person that really films at these things is obviously my wife, which she did an awesome job of catching all the clips and everything. So I'll show you guys clips from the actual event. But as for like vlogging throughout the event and throughout the day, I'm just not good at it. So I apologize to you guys. So I'm gonna basically do a recap because I'm already home. It's 12:44. I officially completed my first DEKA event. Proof right here. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun, and definitely a lot harder than I thought it would be. So I'll kind of do a recap of my thoughts and everything. Let me jump straight into each station though, and how I felt that I did, and then maybe if I have any tips or tricks, like I'm a professional at this, because I'm definitely not. All right, so the first one was reverse lunges with the, I'm gonna call it the roll. I think it's called the ram roller. I don't know. I'm gonna call it the roll. That's different than a barbell for sure. Barbell is definitely a lot more stable. I did see someone that actually put it on the side, so my next event I will put it on this one instead of having it over the back. That one I thought I actually had a good pace. I didn't think I was going through it super fast because it was obviously the first station. Then I jumped straight into the second station, which was funny. I'm tired, if you can't tell. The box step overs aren't that difficult, but going straight from the lunges to that, my legs felt like Bambi's legs when he first came out the womb. So that's how I felt, because the only preparation I've done for this race, I've actually ran in between each station, which I was telling my dad afterwards. I think running in between each station kind of gave my body a rest, if that makes sense, because I was able to pace myself, kind of shake out all the lactic acid, and then jump back into another exercise. By doing each exercise or station back to back to back, it's a different type of pain. So box jumps did that. Then I went into the sit-ups, and the sit-ups, like my dad said, but towards the end it looked like I was kind of suffering from it. They're just kind of boring, like it's repetitious. I don't even know what word I'm trying to say right now. But I was just like pacing myself. As for fatigue, I guess you could say I started feeling in my core towards the end, but it wasn't like I was tired. I definitely wasn't moving fast through them because, again, I was trying to pace myself because I knew it was gonna suck. So after that, then I jumped into the ski erg, which, looking at the video, if anybody out there knows how to do a ski erg, please critique my form, because I know it's absolutely trash because I've never done it before. I thought I was getting into a rhythm towards the end, but then I realized the little 500 meters was not getting any closer. And that's the thing. I was going for a while, and I'm like, man, this is not going anywhere. So that part, I started to feel it in my core. I started getting winded. That's when my mouth started getting like dry, and I was like, okay, I'm only on like the 4th station. This is going to be a while. And then I went into the farmer's carries, which the farmer's carries actually didn't give me any issues. I felt pretty good on those. My grip didn't seem to give out. I was able to go the entire time without dropping them. However, once I was done with that, then I jumped onto the air bike, and the air bike, same thing. When I saw 25 calories, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's not going to take that long. No. That was the first time I ever did an air bike, and as I was doing it, I was like, okay, cool, I got good form. I'm trying to engage. Or I thought I had good form. I probably didn't. If you ever done the air bike, please give me some tips and tricks on that. I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to use my leg strength because my legs are usually pretty strong. And then I was like using my arms. I was trying to not just use one over the other. I was trying to balance it between obviously a pull, a push, and then no, I didn't know any technique. And then I realized I got to like 12 calories, and I'm like, wow, I'm not even halfway there. And that's when the voice of average started creeping in and started feeling sorry for myself. And that's when I knew I messed up, because I was like, I got a couple more stations, and my body's pretty much thrashed at this point. So it was interesting. It definitely was different, and I was definitely not prepared for it. And I realized that once I got off the air bike, and then I had to get into the 20, I think it was the 20 dead ball drops with the 60-pound ball. I've seen the technique for it. However, I was not able to do the technique. I don't know if it's because I was fatigued mentally and physically, but when I got to 10 of the throwovers, I was like, wow, this, and I'm not gonna lie, that voice of average was coming in hot, telling me, dude, this is stupid, just quit, or just pace yourself, don't even pay attention to, like, because I had a time in my mind of what I wanted to shoot for, and the voice was like saying, nah, dude, don't even worry about the time, just finish. So it was definitely a mental battle at that point. Once I finished that, then I got into, the sled push. The push wasn't that hard, the pull was terrible, my calves were burning, my hamstrings were burning. But I started realizing that when you do the pull part, I probably should have actually pulled it. Instead, I just fully extended my arms and started walking backwards. I thought my legs would be good, and I thought my legs would be able to handle the strain, but then I realized my legs were done. So as for like thinking, oh, I have strong legs, no, there's a different type of leg endurance that apparently I don't have. Once I was done with that, I got to the burpees. And this is where I pretty much checked out. Mentally, I was like, this sucks. I just need to keep moving and get through this. But it was very difficult for me to keep pushing. One, I was fatigued. I was done. I was like, I just want to sit. Two, my mouth was absolutely destroyed when it came to like moisture. There was no moisture anywhere. It was completely dry. But I was able to obviously push through it. And I want to say my final time was 18:17. My parents and everybody were like, you did really good. And even the girl that was timing me, Shout out to her. Her name was Jasmine. Super sweet girl. She was cool. She told me it was really good for my first time, and then just different areas where to like improve and stuff, so that was helpful. There was a gentleman there that absolutely beasted it. He did, I think, 14 minutes or something like that. Ridiculous. So that was cool. And then there was another gentleman that went after me that even Cassie was like, that guy was moving. And he literally looked like he was one of the, like, I follow a couple of like the professionals that do DEKA, and he had that body type. Like, he looked like not only was he in crazy good shape endurance wise, but physique wise he was on a whole nother level. So I would have been curious to see what his time was, just to kind of see the gap between obviously someone like myself who comes out the first time and then someone who is very experienced at this. All in all, my afterthoughts, my recap thoughts, absolutely awesome race. Completely different race, I'm going to call it a race. I know it's not a race, but whatever. I'm going to call it an event, I guess. Completely different style event. It's way different than the Spartan races. It's a way different vibe than the Spartan races, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, it's different, but it's different in a good way. Like, I wouldn't say one's better than the other. I wouldn't say like, oh, DEKAs are better than Spartans, because Spartan races definitely have stuff that I was like, oh, I like this about Spartan races. However, the DEKA, one, it's quick. I mean, you're in and out. You pull up to the venue. I mean, you literally, they call your name. You do the, you go up. They say, hey, you got 5 minutes to warm up. You warm up, you go. Your cheering squad's able to be right there, which I thought was really cool. You get your medal and you could bounce. It's not like an all-day event. It's a lot cheaper than a Spartan race for sure, obviously, because they don't have to set up everything. But I liked it because it was way different. Another thing, I definitely didn't fuel properly at all. And I went into this thinking I'm just going to fuel the same way I fuel for my Spartan races. Well, Spartan races are longer. I would definitely say it's more of like an endurance. I don't even know if I want to say it's endurance. It's a longer race. These ones are shorter, but you get gassed quick. So I ate and fueled the same way I did for a Spartan race, which was completely wrong. So I had like a bagel early in the morning, and then I had my pro meal before the race. I had like a little bit of carbs prior to the race, which I think that was a mess up because I felt like I was going to throw up during the race just because I was putting out so much force. So if you guys have done DEKA Strongs, Fits, Miles, whatever, and you guys want to give me some tips on how to fuel properly, I would greatly appreciate that. Do you do it fasted? Do you do it on an empty stomach? Do you do it, how do you fuel? Because that, I need definitely help on that. As for my mouth being completely dry, I'm not quite sure why that happened, because I drink a lot of water throughout the week, so I knew I had a lot of water going through me. And then in the morning, I drank already like, I think, almost 2 liters of water, and then I also had electrolytes. So I was kind of surprised actually that my mouth got so dry. So any tips you guys have when it comes to fueling, or any of the tips that you have on certain events, that would be awesome. Because like I said, this is just the first one, and this is actually was just preparing me for my DEKA mile, which I'm going to do on September 16th. So basically a month out. I weighed in at 194.8 this morning, and then when I got back from my 6 miles, I weighed in at 192.9. So I got basically a month to get down to 190. I really want to get to 190 by my next one, just because I think I'll like the way I look. As for after the race, once the event was done, we went to Denny's. I got a delicious brunch. I did not go get the donuts like I planned, just because I'm not trying to go too ham on this day, because I don't want to just lose everything I gained. I'm really focused on getting to 190. So I'm going to go back on my diet starting tomorrow. Next Sunday I'll probably have another cheat day, and then I'll get back to my training. So all in all, DEKA Strong, the first one in the books, and I'm super happy with it. I did go into it probably overconfident because I looked at the leaderboards of 2023. And in my age group, this is ridiculous, the world's fastest time, some dude did it in 11 minutes and 41 seconds. That is insane. However, I was looking at like the top 50, and I think they did it in like 14 minutes or something. So I was like, man, if I could do it underneath 15 minutes, I could be like top. So I thought I was going to be pretty good. I don't know if I could cut off 3 minutes of my time, but we'll see. We shall see what happens. Like I said, my goal right now is just to focus on the DEKA Fit, to focus on the DEKA mile, which is 1 month out. So my goals for the next couple weeks, get my weight down to 190 and definitely start incorporating more Metcons and stuff into my training split. So in next week's video, I'll kind of show you guys a breakdown of what my nutrition is going to look like for this, and then also what my training routine is going to look like, because I'm going to have to switch it up. But I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys supporting this series. Again, this is the DEKA series as I try to chase the trifecta with the DEKA Strong, DEKA Mile, and DEKA Fit. So if you guys like this video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. Comment below. Like I said, if you guys don't have any tips or anything you guys could give me that would help me improve my time on these DEKA races. And then you guys already know the motto. Stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. I'll catch you guys in the next one.